Alright, welcome back guys. I was just going to do an analysis of the trade trailer which came out a couple days ago, and I know I was going to do it yesterday, but I thought I'd at least try to delve into it today before it got too old. Alright, so right off the bat we see some of the normal ship design and cockpit interiors that we're familiar with from the other trailers. On this planet here we see one of the cooler things that I've been interested in, which is the floating islands, and we've seen these on some other planets, which I always thought looked cool. I guess it kind of harkens back to my days of Warcraft when I was playing around in Nagrand. We get a look here on the interesting variants of the weaponized multi-tool which is being used for mining. Very interesting in the different designs. Now it says buy and sell goods from around the galaxy. This is where I may be a little bit low on information, but maybe someone can help out. Does that mean our trades will be limited to one galaxy? So we can't trade with people or NPCs outside one galaxy? It has been stated that there is a galactic market in this game. Does that mean you can sell to the players as well as the NPCs? If anyone knows that information, please let me know. And once again, here's the Korvax trader. Now here's one of the first times I've witnessed someone getting a blueprint in the world, where they will then be able to use that to craft something new. It looks like he found it off some damaged equipment, which sort of gives me an idea of how these things will be locatable throughout the universe. And it looks like this blueprint is a wide beam adapter, and that this upgrade is going to allow for mining multiple targets. It also widens the laser so that multiple targets in close proximity will receive damage during the process. It looks like it operates automatically once it's constructed with the multi-tool. And as you can see, a requirement to make this technology requires iron, iridium, and plutonium before you can actually use this. As we've seen before, there's some various footage here of mining resources from asteroids. Now, here we've seen this mushroom planet a couple times. I think it's pretty creative because it almost seems like the primary vegetation in a way, replacing trees. There's also a sentinel drone alarm who seems like he's probably not too happy with what's going on, because you're upsetting the balance. In a couple scenes here we notice that he is harvesting off these blue egg-like rocks. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of significance here. Now this is something we haven't seen before. In this frame we see that the player is being offered a new ship, and you can see what it has on the left. We see that it has phase beams, pulse engines, various shields, and some sort of cooling system, along with launch thrusters and photon cannons. And it gives you the option to decline it or conveniently compare it to your current ship so you can decide what you want to do. This doesn't seem to be a very advanced ship. If you look on the right, it's fairly low on everything except for health statistics. Now, in the next frame, similar story, but we see a crafting menu offering various things that we can craft and add to the ships as an upgrade. You can also take note of the launch thrusters and pulse engines, which have an exclamation point over them. It looks like the fill bar under the image for those parts is empty, so I'm guessing that they need some more resources before they will be able to be working properly. In this sub-menu, we see that the game will give you a description of the item that you are trying to upgrade, which also notes its value. Here we see all the things in your inventory. Take note of the jetpack. In this sub-menu, it shows that oxide is needed to charge the suit so you can stay protected from the harsh environments. Once again, it looks like this is another discovery of a blueprint, but for beam coolant. Something new we learn here is that the mining beam actually has a cooldown. Apparently it overheats if used often, and so this reduces the risk of overheat and reduces the cooldown time. Now, here we see the galactic market. How many units we have and what we have to sell. It also gives us how much that item is worth and what certain races use those items for. Alright guys, thanks for listening to my analysis of the new No Man's Sky trailer regarding trade. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. So later, until next time. Thanks guys.